1, 2, 3. Okay. Dan here. We are at the Deck Superstore. I got Andrew here with me with the Diamond Pier foundation system. So we're going to talk about the Diamond Pier. The Diamond Pier is a substitute for a footer. That's the footer that is being required when you're building a deck or a structure onto it. So this is a 50-50 Diamond Pier. And so tell me about the specifics of the replacements, the sizing.
Absolutely. So you're just right, Dan. So what this is it's a replacement for a traditional pier for a deck. Instead of digging a post hole with a sonotube, you can install this, which is about a 50-pound block with 50-inch Schedule 40 galvanized steel. It can be installed in about 10 minutes, and once it's fully installed, you can start framing on it immediately. So this system here, once fully installed in the ground, is the equivalent of a 20-inch round by 48-inch deep sonotube.
So that's 20-inch, 48 inches. Well, then also you guys offer upward lift.
So we do. We have uplift and lateral capacities as well.
Okay.
The bearing capacity for this, each one of these can carry 4,400 pounds in 2,000 pound soil.
And then what is the one up that you guys have as well?
So this is our smaller model. We have a larger model that's a 75-pound block with 63-inch pins. Now that can hold 6,400 pounds in 2,000 pound soil, and that would be the equivalent, once it's fully installed, to a 24-inch round by 60-inch deep sonotube.
Okay, so right now they're requiring 12 inches, 36 inches in diameter. Some are requiring 14 inches, 36 in diameter. So this outperforms any of them. So there's a lot of benefits to switching to building with Diamond Piers, as far as the loads that you get, the quick installation, quick inspection. And then we're also looking to do a deal, or you're also looking to help the local builders in Denver to install these on their first job?
Correct. So right now at the Deck Superstore in Commerce City, they are running a promotion where if you buy 12 Diamond Piers, you'll receive a 35-pound Bosch impact hammer with the driving bit to install the piers for free.
Deal. So what is the value of that tool?
So with the tool and the driving bit that you'll get for free after buying the 12 piers is a value of around $1,200.
Okay, so if you spend almost $2,000, you basically get an additional $1,200 free, and you save time on installing. So it's a win-win.
You know, and we're doing that as a promotion to builders that want to use this product but may not have the tool to install it. So we're trying to get over the hurdle there, allow them the tools to use it, and then I will also come out to their first job where they're using the piers, and I will do on-site training with their crew so they don't have to go through the hurdle of trying to learn it on their own. So I'll be there to assist them and teach them how to install it properly.
Okay, so they get a free lesson, you get tools, so there's a lot of hand holding. There'll also be videos on how to install them, so if you just say, hey, you know what, I want to try myself, that's also something people can do, where they can watch the videos to install them. And then from there, if there's any, let's say prior to installation, if they're going on the plans and they have a hurdle with the building department, what is the course of action for them to take for Diamond Piers?
Great question, Dan. So we are 100% code compliant with the IRC. We have our 2021 ES report. We also just acquired an equivalency evaluation, which is a report the ICCES approached us directly to provide us with. And what that does is it's a supplemental document for the building department that breaks down the path to code when using these piers. So it helps that it gets all the information in one place. So if you're submitting this to the building department, include the ES report and the EE report with your plans.
And where can those be found?
Both of those documents can be found on diamondpiers.com under the About tab and then Important Documents.
So if you are not in Colorado, or if you're not in within the vicinity of the Deck Superstore, Diamond Piers are still available. They're very limited. However, there is room for growth. What you can do is request your lumberyard to carry these if you are interested in installing them. And that is something that Diamond Piers will be a conversation with them. But what areas are you guys in right now?
Yeah, so we are a national brand. So we span the East Coast, Midwest, here in the Western states. You can get them at any retailer, like Dan just said. If they're not carrying them, you can reach out to us. We do have distribution throughout all of those areas to supply those retail dealers with the product.
Okay, awesome. So yes, and then also if you are a big deck builder and you go through a lot of piers, builders can also buy a pallet with how many are on a pallet?
So 45 DP5050s come on a pallet.
Okay.
And then 24 of the 7563 come on a pallet.
So they also do pallet orders. If you want to buy a pallet of them for a big job or just to keep them at your warehouse, that's something else that they can do as well. So Diamond Piers is very universal as far as when it comes to installing in areas in just a very quick way. I personally have sold over 150 of these. My main guy said he's probably installed 60 of them. He said he probably had to move 3 to 4, so we're probably looking 2 to 3% of the Diamond Pier having to actually be moved during installation, and then the post paste still goes on top of here. So for the 6x6, it still covers that area where it has that weight distribution, even if it's moved over. And then one more thing would be about concrete is not to pour concrete directly to the Diamond Pier. So what I've done is just keep a spacing, and then I've had a homeowner cover it with rocks, or you can look to do covering it with smaller rocks or something to cover it up, or build something on top of it.
So when it comes to concrete, you don't want to pour concrete on or over the pier. You do want, like Dan is saying, an expansion joint, just some area that you fill in with P-rock. There are two different systems, so you don't want them to interfere with each other. So you want a clear break between the pier and then any cement patio or pavers or anything to that effect. And then to highlight some of the things you touched on before as well, we're not digging up the homeowner's yard anymore. The only dirt that comes out of the ground is a 12 by 12 cube of dirt, and that's just to fit this concrete pier.
So as far as the height goes, right, my recommendation, or what the counties also request for, is from the county wants from the top of the base, they want 6 inches to go down. So it's roughly around this line. So if you install it at this line, that gives you enough to cover, plus gives you that clearance. Or you can also install it directly, or have the dirt go up to here to the very top of the base if need be.
You know, and what we're seeing is, we're not tearing up the homeowner's yard. And because of its efficiencies, how quickly it can be installed in the ground, it takes roughly about 10 minutes to install each pier. Once it's installed, you can start framing your deck immediately. So now we can have the foundation and the frame of the deck installed in one day. So then that would help the building inspector then be able to combine a foundation inspection and a structural inspection into the same inspection. Now, how they inspect the piers is once it's installed, there's a black tip that goes on the bottom of the hollow pipe. What they would do is take the cap off and run a tape measure down the hollow pipe to verify that it's a 50-inch length. And that's the inspection process. And what we're seeing is that because of those efficiencies, contractors are saving up to 2 to 3 days per project, allowing them then to have more time to complete other projects or other work that they may need to be getting done.